Community connections, CKMS. Local sounds, thoughts, passions, and success. Celebrating local, your neighbor's got a story to tell. Community connections, CKMS.
Happy Monday, Waterloo Region. It's the 9th of September, 2024. My name is Bob Jonkman. You're listening to CKMS Community Connections. In the studio today, we have Sohayla Smith and the band.
On the first warm day this spring, you gave me one sweet thing, just a moment of your time. You said it was all mine, so I cherished your face, and I relished in your gaze. Wasn't jealous as you played a sweeter sound than I. On the first warm day this spring, you offered me a drink, just a small sip of your soul, for there's far too much to know. So I listened, intent, though my mind was still hell-bent. I was zealous to have spent just that moment as it went, that moment as it went. As we sat upon the afternoon and waited for the evening moon to rise up and to light us with her glow, it was crystal clear to me. It seemed if I like you and you like me, then we can just enjoy each other's company on the first warm day this spring. On the first warm day this spring, you said just one sweet thing, that it bothered you to know I could love another so. So I profess my love, and I protest this cold, wherever realize all the love that waits inside, the love that waits inside, the love I have to hide.
Sohayla Smith, live in the studio on CKMS Community Connections. Welcome.
Thank you.
I've been looking forward to this for about 2 years now.
I've been looking forward to meeting you for 2 years.
So what was that? What did you just play?
That was One Sweet Thing. It's a song about sitting and appreciating somebody, or recognizing how much you appreciate them and enjoying that time. Just
Yeah.
enjoying listening, enjoying being present with somebody and being, fully there.
Yeah, sort of ironic that a major part of the lyric is first warm day of spring when it's really the first cold day of fall.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But I like to think it's spring every day, Bob.
Yeah, always
Yeah.
looking forward to summer.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's too bad. It's too short this year. It was too short.
I think it's not over yet. I think we're going to get some more warm days.
Hopefully.
Where'd you come from today?
Shelburne, Ontario.
And that's a distance away.
It's about an hour and a half an hour and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
All
not
that,
too far.
all that for an hour-long interview.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we don't get to do this too often, so it's nice.
No?
No.
No big radio tours, no
Not
circuit?
yet.
No?
Maybe soon. Maybe soon. Yeah.
You've got your band with you. Want to introduce the band?
I do. I have a few members of my band. I have Tristan Jensen on guitar and Daniel Dumas on cajon and shaker. Yeah. And we're missing Tyler Reed today, and Tyler plays bass.
Tyler plays bass. No bass today.
No bass today.
Yeah.
No.
And this is your touring band? These are the folks that you
Yep.
do all your performances with?
They are.
Yeah.
As long as they're available, they're my first picks.
Yeah.
So.
And your studio band too?
My studio band, yes and no. It varies. Sometimes we hire out session players, and sometimes we bring in our guys. Yeah.
Okay. You've just done an album.
A
A little while ago.
little while ago.
Yeah.
The album in 2020 was done with my old band, but all of the singles from I think 2021 forward have been done with either these players or players that I've hired in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or myself. Yeah.
So when you've been doing stuff in the studio, it's a live, straight to recording session, or do you do it piecemeal, layering stuff over top?
I think because the aim is radio quality, so we've been doing it track by track for clarity, for
Okay.
to make sure everything's perfect, as much as possible. And then some things are recorded live. It just depends on the.
When you go into the studio, do you have like a set list? Do you know what you're going to be playing, or does it kind of change as you get there?
I usually go in with an idea, and then it changes depending on the mood and everybody else and how everything else goes and the timing. I like to go in and try to accomplish, something that I have set in my head. It doesn't always turn out that way, but sometimes something else comes out of it. Like I'll go in one day to finish a track, and it won't work out the way we planned, or we'll decide, okay, it's better if we send it for a session player to work on. But then I'll record a piano piece or something. So it just depends on the day. Yeah, I'm probably the most inefficient in the studio. I can admit that though. But I just like being there, and I go to Villa Sound in Singhampton, and Adam Fair is the guy who I trust with a lot of the work. Yeah, so that's my regular studio that I go to.
Okay.
He's amazing, and he really works with me to get the sound that I want, and he managed to capture my voice the way that it actually sounds, which was difficult for us in the past. So I'm really happy. I love studio time. Okay. It's like a vacation.
I hope our little broadcast studio does you justice.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by the whole studio process because I'm just not in that loop at all. But it's all techie, so it tweaks my interest.
I'm the least techie person alive.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to just trust people who know how to do it better than you. That's what I figured.
Okay. So you don't take your turn at the mixing console and adjust things?
Not unless I'm just pressing record for someone else to play the drums and then pressing stop. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I have recorded some of my own stuff in the past, and it did do something. Like I think one of my first version of 10 Steps Back went to radio in the UK. But it honestly, I don't have the attention to detail to produce something perfectly, at least not yet, because I haven't been patient enough to be that meticulous. But I have learned that if I want it done well, that I should just hire the people who do it really well.
Right. Do what you can and buy what you can.
Yeah, I do my part that I do best, and then everybody else does their part that they do best.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you hire a producer, somebody to engineer and somebody to...
I have in the past. I hired Jeff Dalziel to produce City Girl, which is a song that was released in... I don't remember if it was in 2020. I don't remember when I released it. That's terrible. But I released it at some point in 2020 or 2021. And I love that song. He did an incredible job producing it. It was a very important song for me. It was inspired by my mom, who passed away last year. And he did a great job. So I have worked with him, and I've worked with Adam Fair, who also produced You Are Enough, which went to radio last year, I think, last summer. He did a fantastic job. And then Matt, you know what? I have to look up his name. Oh, I won't be able to because I don't have Wi-Fi. Matt produced What's a Girl Gotta Do? Sorry, my brain's failing me. And he did a fantastic job as well. So, yeah. Everything else is sort of, I produce it, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the COVID panic hit and everything was closed up, did you do anything on your own?
I did. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
I recorded a lot of the songs that were recorded later, I recorded demos at home first. I did a lot of writing, a lot of composing, and those are all songs that are either coming out or have come out already. A lot of the Latin music came out of that period.
Yeah.
So I was trying to keep focused on something positive. It was I found it very stressful. I know a lot of people did. It was very scary, stressful, absurd for me too, because I'm used to working all the time. And when the government was like, nobody's allowed to work, I was like, what do you mean? I'm a workaholic. I don't know what to do with myself now.
Devastating for performers who were locked out of their places of performance.
Yeah. So. But I created a lot. I composed a lot of music on my harp, and I wrote some pieces on the piano, and then I tried to make like home music videos. I'm terrible at it, but it was fun. And I did a few of those. I did one for Little Angel and one for Erase You. Just some older songs. Yeah. And I guess during that time, I just did a lot of learning, I think, more than anything. Yeah.
Pick up any other instruments? I mean, you've mentioned piano and guitar, and I've seen you with a fiddle.
Yeah, I'm a music teacher, so I play a lot of instruments. I didn't pick up any new instruments, really. I just played them a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shelburne is the fiddle capital of Ontario, maybe all of Canada. Maybe even more than that, wider ranging, fiddle capital of the world.
Yeah, sadly we don't have the Fiddle Fest anymore. No, we haven't had it for a few years, I think. Quite a few years, and it's too bad because it was pretty cool, but there just wasn't enough draw anymore. I think the newer generation's not quite as fiddle loving.
No?
So the festival changed to, I don't remember the name. It's changed to something else, like a music festival now. So now they bring in bands and they have like a beer tent in the park and stuff.
I thought fiddles were all coming back. I mean, Ashley McIsaac and Natalie McMaster and all the East Coast fiddlers. Not happening in Shelburne now.
Not that I'm aware of. But, I mean, despite living there, I might be out of the loop, so. I don't know. I think that the fiddle, they probably still bring in fiddlers for the event, but I don't think it's the same. It's not like the same competition, and it used to be competitive, and they used to bring in fiddlers from all around the world, and it was a big deal, right? But now I think it's just more of a music festival. Yeah. Times change, though.
It does, and that's sort of too bad.
It is, yeah. I used to have more fiddle students than I do now. I think I have like 2.
Okay. Do you play fiddle on any of your recordings?
I do.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Gonna have to have another listen.
Yeah. Just whatever little tiny fiddle parts you hear are probably me, except for the cello and violin on. Oh, for goodness sake! What's the sad song? The really sad song, guys.
Is it Walls?
No.
Or is it All the Wrong Places?
All the Wrong Places. Thank you. Yeah, All the Wrong Places. I hired someone to do cello and fiddle. And she did a beautiful job. I can't remember if it was fiddle or viola, but she did a beautiful job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cellos can sound.
I love
sad.
cello. Yeah. I play the cello too, but not nearly as nicely.
So what do you teach then?
Piano, guitar, drums, bass, Irish whistle, violin, harp, but I don't have any students for it.
Yeah. Upright
flute.
bass?
I can play the upright bass, saxophone, clarinet. I'm banjo. I used to have banjo students. I don't have any right now. Ukulele. Et cetera, accordion.
Okay. Oh my.
I like to make this joke. It's kind of funny, but the only instrument I don't really play is the didgeridoo.
Huh.
Yeah, I can't make it make noise.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
I've tried. I own one, and it just taunts me. It just sits there staring at me, saying, "You can't do this." So I'm going to sell it eventually.
No frets, no holes.
Yeah, well, it won't do that wow sound that it's supposed to make. It just doesn't do it. It just sounds like
not for you.
amplified breath. That's it.
Yeah.
So obviously, I don't have what it takes to play the didgeridoo, but it's okay.
But you play guitar.
I play guitar.
And you brought a guitar, and you have a guitar accompanist.
Yeah.
Accompanist.
Yeah.
Got something else you can play on there?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Let's do. Why don't we do Better Man? Since I talked about. This is a song. Jeff didn't produce this one, but he inspired this one. So when I was working with Jeff Dalziel Hill, he said, if you don't want to inspire the girls, teach the boys, because we were talking about the empowering the younger generation through music. And I have a son, so this is the song that came out of that inspiration, and I really, really love it. And it's called Better Man.
Okay.
Hang on, I gotta think of it. speak 'em from the heart now, don't you wait. Don't go blaming her for all your troubles. Your happiness, well, it ain't hers to make. If you wanna love a woman like a man who loves a woman should, you better make it good. But if you're looking in the mirror and you don't like what you see, go be a better man for me. Go be a better man for me. If you wanna love a woman like a man who loves a woman should, you better make it good. But if you're looking in the mirror and you don't like what you see, go be a better man for me. Go be a better man for me.
Sohayla Smith on CKMS Community Connections live in the studio with Daniel and Tristan. That's lovely. That's a song to your son?
It's a song written to my son in the future. So,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like to just be like a better kind of guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I've met all kinds of people in my life, and I just really hope that he turns out to be the best absolute version of that, that he can possibly be, and
Yeah.
that he makes wise choices and just respectful and kind and
Yes.
loving and all those wonderful things that a mother wants for her child.
And there are so many who
yeah.
aren't like that, so
Yes, unfortunately. Yeah. I hate to say that, but yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so, but he's 14 and he's going on 15 this year in a couple months.
High school.
Yeah, he's homeschooled though, so he's still
Okay.
in high school, but he's homeschooled. And he really has a very good heart. He's got a really good head on his shoulders and a good heart, and he knows, he understands a lot more than most kids, I think, his age.
Okay.
He's very mature, so I'm very proud of him.
So you've done a good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I think so. So far, so good. Yeah.
You have a lot of other songs that deal with men and romance and not necessarily of the kind that you were speaking or singing of just now.
Yes.
What makes you do that? What makes you write those songs? Is it something that you have to get out of your system?
It's just life. It's like my life. Unfortunately, like my life experiences, I haven't. Not to say that everybody's been bad, but sometimes things don't work out, and sometimes people aren't at their best, or they don't have the capacity to be mature and respectful all the time. And unfortunately, I think a lot of the time, and I'm going to say this as a general statement, which might bite me in the butt later, but I feel like a lot of the time women take a lot of abuse, and it's not really fair. It's not just. It's not right, and it's just because men need to grow up and kind of get it together a little bit more. But that's my very big opinion.
And so we get the women's shelters, the sexual assault centers,
Yeah.
and all those organizations that.
And women get jaded too. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want to trust people as easily, and we don't want to be as open and friendly because we can't. Because as soon as we are, it's misinterpreted. And it happens a lot where you're just friendly to somebody and then they think that means something else, but it really doesn't. It's just, if you have a nice social disposition, it can be also very dangerous, which is sad.
Yeah.
So I think that the song for my son particularly was just in hopes that he will never be like that. And I tell him constantly, like he sees good and bad examples in my life, and I tell him, hey, don't ever do this. Yeah. So I don't know. I like good relationships, but they're always up and down. And it's give and take. And, women play a role in that too. It's not just men. Like, I'm not trying to man bash her here.
Yeah. I think what you've done, bringing up a son to have those values is the way to do it. That's how We
Next
got
generation
a
of guys.
generation of good men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll be good to somebody. So now I just have to teach him how to cook. Then he'll be perfect.
Oh, yes. Well, once you've got your son cooking for you, life is great.
Yes.
My son does that, so it's
Does he?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's,
lucky.
he's a great cook. Makes stuff up, and it's always good.
Yeah. Mine doesn't yet. He just makes pizza pockets. He's like, Mom, you want a pizza pocket? Okay.
That's a start.
It's a start, yeah.
It's a start.
And I love it. I accept it. I sit and I watch a cartoon with him and I eat a pizza pocket and it's perfect.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you tour? Do you go out on tour? Do you?
I toured out east, I think in I want to say 2019, and then 2018 I was out in New York and Manhattan.
Wow.
I'm planning currently to do a tour of some of the smaller halls in Ontario, like not part of the small
Okay.
halls necessarily. I've applied there. Hopefully they say yes, but I'd like to start playing small halls and work my way up from that. So.
Okay.
I feel like I like that the intimate venue type thing, but
Yeah.
I want a band. I want to have my band with me.
We
You know,
have
sometimes the
some-
smaller places are just like one or two people, and it's nice, but
Yeah.
it's nice with a full band.
We have some small venues here,
Mm-hmm.
places that work by invitation only,
Yeah.
places that have the private performances in somebody's house, a living room
House
concert.
concerts?
Yeah,
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 I'd
yeah.
love to. I'd love to get into that circuit. I was in that circuit a little bit a long time ago, and then recently I just played a house concert in Hornings Mills, and that was lovely. It was just a small 20, 25 people kind of thing. Really intimate, really personal. A lot of story sharing, which is wonderful. I love that part of it.
So when that happens,
I'd love to do more.
are there multiple performers when there's a house concert, or is it just you?
For mine, it was just me.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 2 sets. I had my band with me. I had was there 3 of us, 3 of you guys, and then me, so 4 of us in total. And it was really cozy. But it was very small. It was very cozy,
Yeah.
very nice. People could ask questions. They could ask for their favorite song, and
And people pay attention.
they pay attention.
Yeah.
They're there to listen. They're there to learn. They're there to get to know more about the songwriter. So it's a really great opportunity if anyone has the opportunity to play a house concert. The people that attend that type of event are people who want to be
Yeah.
engaged, right, and listen and pay attention.
As opposed to the bar stool in the corner of a bar.
Yes.
Or-
Yeah. I love the bars too, but I find I don't do as many covers as they'd probably like, and I prefer not to. So, I do a few, but
Yeah.
that's about it. Just my favorites.
Never really understood why people would want to go out to listen to somebody perform music that isn't theirs.
I don't know. I think it's just there's two ways to look at it. Like you have the music appreciators who just appreciate music, and they might even appreciate live music, so that they're not just listening to the radio. So maybe that they like seeing somebody play their favorite songs, and hearing how differently they do it. That's cool. I don't know. I've learned to flex it a little bit with music and how it works for everybody, because some people are just radio listeners, some people are just instrumental people or classical, and some people like a variety, or they like different genres, or they like hearing cover songs of their favorite songs instead of the
Okay.
originals. Yeah.
I know that I've put into our radio station library about 20 different versions of I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Different
Nice.
people doing it different ways.
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to listen to that for an hour.
Yeah,
And,
I just recently discovered there's a version of Simply the Best. I forget the girl's name. Is it Brielle or something? I can't remember. But
Don't know.
it's just a cover. I've never heard it covered by anyone, and I heard it, and it's awesome. So I think it was on a TV show or something.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty cool, though.
You said you've got a couple of covers lined up that you might want to play?
I could.
You could?
Yeah, I could. I've
Okay.
got 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why do you play these covers?
I play the one by Noah Zacharin. No, the one by Noah Zacharin is called In the Heather, and Noah Zacharin is a very good old friend of mine, and he was also my teacher. And when I met him, the day I met him, I walked into the Free Times Cafe in Toronto, and he was playing. Hadn't seen him yet at all. He was in the back room. If anyone has been there, there was like a little back nook for the musicians. And I walked in and I heard this beautiful song, and it was so beautiful. I was really moved by it. I was moved by the music. I was moved by the words, that I went back there and I was like, I need to know who you are and will you teach me? And so he did. He started teaching me, and I'm still in comparison as a guitarist, I am not nearly
ever as going to be as skilled as him. I don't have the patience or discipline, I think, but I can admit that. But I did learn a lot from him, and he inspired a lot of good music, and he challenged me to be a better guitar player. And that's going to come out, like you'll hear more of that later when I release my blues album, hopefully next year. It's like blues and jazz, and a lot of that came out of the lessons with him, where he was like, go home and write this kind of a song, and I would. So he was very motivating, and he's a wonderful person, and he has an awesome career, and he's a poet and a writer and a singer-songwriter and an amazing guitar player. So I covered that one because it means the most to me out of his entire catalog. That's the song that made me want to know who he was. Really? And I love the song. And then the other song that I cover is Little Things by Colin Cripps. And I love that song because of the meaning behind it, and because Colin himself is an amazing human being. He's very kind to me. And it just says everything that, like, the chorus itself says, like, it's the little things, right? And it really is. And that's, as I get older, I'm like, it's the little things that make the biggest difference in our lives. It's not so much the big things. It's what you make of it. It's what you can do with it. And it's how you approach it. And it's the little gestures that people offer, and the simple things that you have in your life that make it worthwhile. So I really connected with the lyrics to that song, and I asked him to cover it, and he said yes. And then I made a mistake. In the original recording, I got the lyrics wrong a little bit because I was just doing it by ear. So then I had to go back in and fix it. And I changed it a little bit. So it's a little bit mine, a little bit, original. But it's just a different take on his song. And I love it. I love it. And I only choose covers that I really love.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
they have to mean something, or they have to be really fun. Yeah. Like, I haven't released one yet, but I recorded a country version of Teenage Dirtbag.
Okay.
Which, I know, here I am talking about the deep meaning and things. It obviously isn't a deep, meaningful song, but my student was singing it, and I wanted her to have a studio experience, so I said, okay, let's do this. And then I cut the vocal as a demo for her, and the producer goes, this is really good, you should do a country version. So we ended up following through with it, and it hasn't been released yet, but it will be, and I like that one because it's fun. It's just fun. Okay. So, yeah.
Which cover are you going to play for us now?
I'm going to do In the Heather.
In the Heather.
Yeah.
That's from Sohayla Smith doing a cover in the studio, CKMS Community Connections. Shuffle a few papers.
Yeah, sorry.
Because I think I have made you play your stuff out of the order you expected to.
That's okay. Okay, so this one's by Noah Zacharin. Let me just adjust myself here. Hang on. Okay, ready. Counting the crows on the line, counting back days when I first met her, and wishing that she was still mine. Keep on walking and don't look back to where the city's in flames. Water just over the hill, flowers that bloom from her name. Roll me over and rock me to sleep. I pray my mind, my memory keeps. If I should find any heartbeat, sing at the speed of sound, you see at the speed of light. You can step as slow as you're bound to, you still pass through the night.
I'd forgive her. And now I'm just glad that she's there. Roll me over and rock me to sleep. I pray my mind, my memory keeps. If I should lie about any heartbeat, well, I used to walk in the heather, counting the crows on the line, counting back days when I first met her, and wishing that she was still mine.
Sohayla Smith in the studio live doing a cover song from Noel Zacharian.
Yeah, I mixed it up a little bit there, but yeah. Yeah, I always extend songs. I like to bring them back to the beginning.
By repeating the
The first
initial
verse.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
find it the most, I don't know, it's a nice way to end it. So
Yeah.
I just kind of changed up a little.
Yeah. Is that a standard songwriting technique?
No, I think it's just me. I think most people end the song when it's supposed to end.
Okay.
I like to roll a little differently.
The Sohayla signature on the
Yeah,
songs.
it's my signature.
Yeah.
If I extend it by one more verse, that's because I just prefer it. I just feel
Okay.
it just feels right to close it with the starting point for me sometimes. And this particular verse, I really loved the first verse. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, it worked out well. It sounded nice.
thank you.
Yeah. You do other things besides play music.
Yes.
You were saying something about some social justice stuff that you're doing.
It's not social justice.
No?
No, it's more like a community initiative.
Okay.
Yeah, so I run a soup kitchen in Shelburne, Ontario called Soup House.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a charity. It's not a registered charity because that's a business, et cetera, et cetera.
Nah.
So, and I did a TEDx speech on it in Collingwood.
Oh.
So if anyone's curious, they can look it up. It's called Need and the Art of Giving, No Strings Attached. And the principle behind the soup kitchen is when you feel like you don't have enough, it's really hard sometimes to ask for help. And it's also, it feels bad. It doesn't feel good, right? So
Yeah.
the goal is to help people by offering it and not having those strings saying, well, if you're poor or if you need this, then you can come. There's no stipulation. It's just everybody's welcome, regardless of what kind of need you have, whether it's a social loneliness or if it's money and food, food is tight, or if it's something else. If they just need experience or volunteer hours, or whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference. So I created an opportunity for partnering sort of with the church. It's not a religious foundation or anything like that. It's just the church has been gracious enough to give us the space and the means to run a sit-down meal. And I've done it for quite a number of years. I think, I can't remember how many, but quite a lot. I think maybe 5 years, maybe 6.
Wow.
And so we serve sit-down supper every Sunday and have weekly, pretty much except for the shutdown period that the pandemic forced.
Yeah.
Once we were able to come back, we were able to come back. And out of that, during that time, I did it out of my house, so people would just come pick up jars of soup and
Okay.
banana breads and stuff. But it's really nice. And now they just allowed us to extend it to also include a songwriters round after hours, after the supper is served, to create a space for musicians who want to get together, meet people, learn about songwriting, and have a community as well. So it's growing into something really nice. Yeah.
Okay, so
And it's
two,
all free.
two separate things, but they kind of
Yeah, they
one
just work
blends into
together.
the
'Cause
other.
We
Oh.
thought, well, we don't have a cafe willing to host a songwriters round, so if Soup House is running, which it is every Sunday,
Okay.
I just stay longer, and maybe a volunteer or two stays to help, and we just serve coffee, tea, and cookies, and then this musicians and singers and songwriters and poets can also come,
Okay.
and they just sit there and do their thing, and yeah.
Okay, we have a number of food hand me outs at in Kitchener. Food Not Bombs is one of them,
Yeah.
working out of City Hall. We've got the St. John's Kitchen, which I think right now is running out of the St. John's Church.
Oh, wow.
So back there, because the big St. John's Kitchen is being renovated to provide some low-cost housing.
Yeah.
And then we've got a little food truck outside of St. Mary's Church.
And they all
So-
help the community.
They all help the community. It's all.
So that's like right in my heart, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
But none of them have combined their offerings with music. So I think we can learn a thing or two from
Just
your-
get musicians to come volunteer while people come get their food.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all voluntary. Like nobody gets paid, so nobody at Soup House or the After Hours Cafe gets paid. The church donates their time, and the food. The only I pay for the food, or I raise money for the food through other activities. Like we'll go and do face painting for a farmers market, and whatever donations we get goes towards that. Or if I pick up extra work for harp, then I'll put that towards Soup House and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it's just, and sometimes the guests will come and volunteer, and sometimes the volunteers will become dinner guests, and it's just a very nice
That is
little,
great. Yeah.
little thing that just works. So, and I love cooking. I don't want to run a restaurant, so this is like a win for me. I love cooking. I love the challenge of like making cultural meals. So we've done Thai and Korean and
really?
Asian and Middle Eastern,
Okay.
and Indian food and everything, and vegan and all sorts of dietary differences.
Ah, cool.
Yeah, so try to make it open for everybody, and if they have a request, I try to accommodate it. But I really love it, so yeah.
How big is the group that takes part?
The volunteers or the
Oh,
diners?
both. How many volunteers have you scratched up?
Oh, we're revolving door of volunteers, but they're consistent. Like we have some staple volunteers who've been with us since the beginning. I'd say like maybe five volunteers solid through it. And then we get students looking for high school hours, so they come and they volunteer for their term until they're done. And we get other community members who just want to come and help sometimes, and they come and help. So that, like, the number of volunteers is usually between, I'm going to say 5 to 10 or 12 some days.
Okay.
And then the guests, before the pandemic, we had 35 to 45 people a night, and a couple of days we even had upwards of 80. So that was crazy.
Wow. Yeah.
Those were unexpected, but that's okay. We did what we could. And now it's more like 18 to 25. The community's changed, and we just recently reopened in the church in the spring, so it's still building back up. But we're hoping to reach the same capacity.
30, 35 or so.
Yeah, or 35 to 45 or more. I'm happy to cook for however many people. I just need to know how many there are. That's it.
Yeah. So how do you deal with a sudden influx of 80 people? How can you
We
prepare
send
for
volunteers to the store to get more flour and more milk and more cream.
Okay.
It was for Shrove Tuesday pancakes, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
just had
All
a lot of walk-ins from upstairs, and we had our regular diners, and we had like a full house for that. So it was just like double the people suddenly. But we did it. We managed.
with it.
Yeah, and we had that happen, I think, as well for crepes or something else. Somehow magically we just have the ability to stretch the food pretty far.
Good.
It just kind of keeps stretching, and
Good.
we do portion control, so it's not like a huge plate. We say, okay, here's a serving, and if you want seconds, ask us. And obviously, if we have more, you can have more. So we have some people who will ask for seconds and thirds, and they're eating really healthy food. Like last night, we did Buddha bowl with pomegranate, cucumber, chickpeas, lentils, super healthy. So I like it when people eat healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking that after the pandemic, food prices all went up, and so I thought that you might actually end up with a lot more people after the pandemic than you had before. So
Yeah,
it's somewhat heartening to know that
They're doing okay.
the need isn't as great as I thought it might have been.
I think the need is falling on the food bank still a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know that they are probably quite busy. And we've also we don't normally do this, but we do a grocery box. So if somebody messaged me privately and says, I'm really struggling, I have a family of 3, can you help? I'm not going to say no. I will literally take food out of my cupboard and stick it in a box and take it to them.
Wow.
And we've done that numerous times. Because it's hard, and I get it. I've been there. I know what it's like when you don't have enough, and it's really hard. And all of this comes back from the whole project started because I felt like I had not enough, and then I remembered my mom saying during the recession, my dad lost his business, and then they had to feed the family on $15 of rice and beans for the month. And I was like, how's she do that, right? But it's possible. It's possible to stretch food and still eat healthy and still feel like you have enough.
Yeah.
And be nourished properly at the same time. You just have to be careful and smart about how you purchase things and what you use it for. And portioning is really important,
Yeah.
So
and
that just worked towards motivating this whole project and making it more feasible for people to enjoy, a 2 or 3 course meal.
And it's knowing something about nutrition and dietary needs, because very often you go through the grocery store and all the ultra-processed food is the cheapest.
It's
And-
garbage.
yeah.
Yeah. You can't survive a healthy life. You can survive on it, but it's not healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we try not to use processed things at all. It's mostly either we purchase it from Lennox Farms, which is the farm that's closest to us in the area. They're also very generous. They donate some produce and stuff. And we have farmers who sometimes donate chickens so that we can provide more meat, because meat's really expensive right now.
Yeah.
So Soup House is very fortunate to be a recipient of some big-hearted people. We get, a few things here and there, and we stretch it. So like a chicken will go for 2 meals. It's not going to go just for one.
Right.
It'll be the meat for 1 meal and then the broth for a second
Oh,
soup.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so we try to do that. And then turkeys go for a few meals as well, probably
Right.
2 or 3.
Yeah. Turkey dinner, turkey sandwiches, turkey
Turkey
soup.
shepherd's pie, yeah, you name it, right? We just stretch it. But, everybody still gets a good portion of meat because you only really need so much. But society, we tend to overeat or think that we need more than we do, and we don't really.
Yeah.
So as long as they're satisfied when they're leaving, I'm happy. They're
good.
full, they eat well.
Shelbourne's a bit of outside of our listening area, but I'll provide some links in our show notes, just so anybody who's
Yeah.
catching this on the internet, then they can catch up and maybe find out what it's all about.
Yeah, thank you. I've also shared the link for the radio station, so
Cool.
yeah.
Cool. A little bit of mutual back scratching there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have something else that you've got queued up?
Sure. Why don't we do my latest single? I have some dropping papers.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. We'll do Bad Boys. So Bad Boys was just released, and I'm really grateful. It got picked up by SiriusXM. So
Oh.
really, really thank
The
you
big
to them.
time.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have the music for it, so I don't need this. I was looking for something else. Okay.
Something we do have in our library, so it's actually been
Bad Boys.
playing.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's a fun song. I wrote it a long time ago, probably when I was like 17, or maybe not quite that young, maybe in my early 20s, but I guess I saw the relationship trend way back then.
Oh.
So, and it stuck with me, and people were like, oh, it's kind of cliche, but it was always a fun song, and I really enjoyed playing it, so I decided to finally take it to studio and record it anyways, and I'm glad I did.
This is the other side of Better Man.
This is the other side of Better Man, exactly. It's the Bad Boys. Okay.
Sohayla Smith live in the studio.
I always fall for the bad boys, though I know that it's the wrong choice. Yeah, I know they'll break my heart, tear it all apart, but they just leave me wanting more. It must be something about that rough look, that unshaven, real tough look. The look that wins my heart at sight, keeps me up all through the night. The look that sweeps me off my feet. And every time that I fall to pieces over another guy, I tell myself that I should have seen it coming. Yeah, I should have known better this time. And every time I expect this one to be different, I shouldn't expect a thing, 'cause I got no one else to blame for my mistakes but me. I've got a soft spot for the rebels. They're always in and out of trouble. Yeah, they drag me through the dirt. They don't care if I get hurt, and then they walk right out my door. It must be something about that rough look, that unshaven, real tough look. The look that wins my heart at sight, keeps me up all through the night. The look that sweeps me off my feet. And every time that I fall to pieces over another guy, I tell myself that I should have seen it coming. Yeah, I should have known better this time. And every time I expect this one to be different, I shouldn't expect a thing, 'cause I got no one else to blame for my mistakes but me. Oh, some mistakes are just so unforgettable. Yeah, some mistakes are so
Sohayla Smith with a cheerful sounding song.
Totally.
Yeah.
I like to juxtapose negative and positive. It makes it easier to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from a long time ago when you
Yes.
wrote this, but recorded fairly recently?
Recorded it very recently and just released it to radio. I don't remember what month it is,
Oh, okay.
but recently.
Okay. Probably,
It released August 1st, I think.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we
Yeah.
probably got it in advance. 'Cause
Possibly.
you're good that way. Nope,
Yeah.
August the 11th. so-
Okay. Oh, so a little after. Sorry. That's
all right.
You got it pretty close to the release date, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So you said you've got something else coming out soon, blues.
I'm working on a blues album. It's sort of like going slow, but we're taking our time with it. And I've got also a Christian song. I have actually a Christian EP that was never properly recorded, but I decided I wanted to try one of the songs that I really love, that my mom loved, and we're producing that in studio currently. May as well.
So that's not part of the blues.
That's not part of the blues. The
Okay.
blues is actually like Die Trying. We can play one of the blues songs today if you want.
Ooh.
Die Trying, Hold Back. A lot of the harder. I like blues, so for me,
Okay.
like my rock is like blues. And I have a whole album of like bluesy, jazzy sort of tunes like Mascara. Mascara is one of the earliest ones that I recorded, and it's jazzy blues. So it's
Okay.
pretty. It's just in me, and I feel like it doesn't get to come out often in the country music. So I have an album's
All right.
worth, may as well, right?
And you've got all the songs written?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Are
they've
there-
been written for like a long time. I'm not gonna say
Okay.
how long. But, you know.
So you've-
Nobody needs to know
got this
those
whole
details.
back catalog that you're just itching to get out
Yes.
and recorded. Oh,
Yeah, I
that's-
have a lot of music that has not been recorded, or not been recorded other than just a little demo
Okay.
for myself. And I would love to be able to take the best of my work and complete it, so that eventually when I die, I'll feel like I accomplished my goals as a musician.
Got all the music that you've written out for people to hear.
All the best ones, all the best of it, all the most important ones.
Have you played these things in performance? Or
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
so
I've been playing them.
they're not unknown then.
They're not unknown, and they're not unrecorded. They're just, I think sometimes, once in a while, I have a few of them available on like Reverb Nation or something like this, old recordings,
Okay.
which I should probably take down, but I don't. I like to leave it up for the hardcore fans. But yeah, I would love to redo it really well so that it actually has, the ability to sit in the ranks of blues music and
Okay.
feel like it can hold its own, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I did that with classical music too, because I love it.
Okay. When the album's out,
Mm-hmm.
is there a tour to perform it all over Southern Ontario, all over Canada?
Hopefully.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm just starting to. Daniel's helping me with booking my tour currently. I'm just starting to really have that vision, like really
Okay.
want to see myself going that direction. So I'm hoping to play a lot more venues and places that
Yeah.
are receptive for blues or country or whatever it is that I do. Really, the
You're saying
ideal
you're
audience
saying
is
the
like
small, intimate venues.
small
but-
intimate venues or bigger ones. Like the best concert I ever played was Peak to Shore in Collingwood, and that was awesome. It was like
Okay.
2,000 people or something,
Wow.
or 2,000 people, and
Yeah.
and I love that. It gives me the opportunity to have a full band. Like I hired a
Yeah.
keyboard player and everything.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like my
Okay.
favorite thing. But for the blues stuff, I think it would be similar to the songwriter stuff. It's a lyrics thing and a music thing. So whoever, hopefully the fans that I can garner to come to things like that are going to be really interested in the lyrics and the music and the story behind
Okay.
it. So yeah.
It doesn't seem to me like a deep blues album is suitable for a house concert venue.
Maybe.
Maybe?
Not.
Huh?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
If I try it and it flops, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, well.
I'll be like, don't do that.
I
Just
just-
FYI.
Associate that with smoky bars, although bars aren't smoky anymore, I guess.
I don't love the bar scene though. And honestly,
No?
the bar scene is cool, but even the bar scene doesn't love straight up blues unless they're a blues venue. Then of course they do. I don't think I have enough material. Like I don't do the staple covers of blues music that people would do.
Okay.
I just have like an album's worth of blues songs. So
Okay.
yeah, I feel like I would fit more in that still like that smaller concert hall kind of thing, and be able to mix it in with the folk and the country and just blend it a little bit,
Okay.
but still do a little bit more blues and more rock. I do have some rock as well. So
Okay.
it's-
I think
yeah.
Kitchen may be a weird niche then because
Yeah.
we've got a lot of blues venues around here.
Yeah. Oh, you have blues
little
venues
bar-
here?
Yeah, blues. We used to have the Boathouse, which is a great place for all kinds of music, but blues especially.
Yeah.
Pop the Gator was a big blues joint. Mel Brown played there for a while. I don't know, little bar out on Herb Street someplace. Can't remember the name of it. Some nautical theme, but they play blues.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we've got the big blues festival
Yeah.
in late summer usually.
We have a blues festival in Orangeville, like just south of Shelburne.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never actually
Really?
been I've never played there. So
Okay.
yeah. But I'll check out the venues here though.
Yeah.
I like to travel. Look, we've been playing in Hamilton a little more often, and where did I play recently? I forget. I don't remember, but that's okay. Yeah, like I'd like to play more out of town. I find there's more opportunities out of town because I live in a small town still. We have
Yeah.
we have a few venues, but they're very small.
Yeah, I guess people can only go see Sohayla Smith so often before you start repeating yourself.
Oh, I don't usually play in town.
No?
Nope, I don't
Oh,
think
really?
I don't think I've ever played in town. No.
Ah.
Have I, guys? No, just the closest is Hornings Mills, just recently. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never really played in town at all. So
Well.
maybe I should try it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'd like to book the town hall, but it feels like maybe not
No,
quite yet.
maybe not there.
No.
How do you go about booking a tour? What is involved? Do you have an agent?
I don't have an agent, but I have Daniel,
Huh?
who's helping as a booking assistant, and he's basically we look at towns and find the small halls in them and call and get price quotes and find out what's needed, like insurance and how many people we can fit on the stage and how many whatever. There's a lot of different rules that apply depending on the venue that we're going to. So we're going to pick. I think we might start with Wingham,
Okay.
and book Wingham for not confirmed yet, but maybe Wingham.
Yeah.
And then we found a couple venues in Kimberley, and there's other
Okay.
places. I've played in Singhampton. I opened for Ken Yates in Singhampton, so I'd like to play there again, but I have to figure out when exactly.
Okay. Sounds like it's a lot of legwork.
It's a lot of phone calls, a lot of information, a lot of compiling it, and figuring out what we need to do in order to actually move forward to book
Yeah.
it. And I'm pretty new at that stuff. Like I'm not very good
And
at
I'm not sure
tackling
that
all,
it's something that meshes well with the artistic part that makes
You-
you write and play and perform music.
You need someone who loves to organize.
Yeah, and that's Daniel.
That's Daniel.
Yeah,
Daniel
good for you,
loves to organize things. Yeah, and then I just get to bring in Tristan and Tyler, and they do their awesome job, and it's The goal is to have it to set ourselves up for a successful show, so that I can pay my musicians really well, and hopefully pull in new people who will then be engaged fans, and have the opportunity to continue growing. I'd love to do that. So, like on the live music front, I really would love to play more. So.
What's the next thing that you're doing? Where can people go find Sohayla Smith and listen to Sohayla's music?
I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh.
They can listen to the music on Spotify or YouTube.
Okay.
Or they can follow on Instagram. Do I have another show booked? I don't think I do. I just have a studio session booked. Yeah, we just have a studio session. So right now we're just planning to finish
Alright.
a couple songs in studio and then book the tour.
Have to wait for the tour to be announced.
Yeah,
and then,
that's going to be in the new year, but that's really what we've been working on right now, because the end of the year is hard. I find like it's a lot of Christmas stuff comes up really fast, and so like the next time I'll be playing is at my music school recital. I'll be playing some Christmas harp music for my students, but I find it difficult to balance shows in the winter a lot. So we'll probably start spring and do a couple small tours, a couple small halls first, and then hopefully go from there and keep going.
Okay.
Right? I'd love to go across Canada eventually and back out east. So
Come to Kitchen or book a gig here.
yeah, and I'm also on the hunt for more house concerts and stuff. I love that. I love that intimacy. So it's open. I'm open
Okay.
to whatever. I just don't really know how to find them.
Our music
the
committee
time.
needs to get on the ball and get a list of venues that we can pass on to the people
That'd
that
be
we bring
awesome.
into the studio.
Well, we will definitely, like, now that you've mentioned the blues venues and stuff in this area, I'll definitely look at what's around here. And if you know of any, like,
Yeah.
that we've discussed, maybe you can just email them to me. But I definitely want to start actively booking more performances and stuff, but in the right places, and I think that's really key for me, at least. I have to fit the bill for whatever they're looking for, and it has to feel good for me, too, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something that showcases your talents. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something to play us out?
I will play you a blues song.
Oh, good.
Let's see here.
Sadly, I will probably talk all over you to give the end credits, which I can
That's-
probably start doing right now before you begin to play. You've been listening to CKMS Community Connections on CKMS FM Radio Waterloo 102.7. In the studio today we've had Sohayla Smith with Daniel and Tristan accompanying. CKMS Community Connections is produced by Radio Waterloo, sponsored by Radio Waterloo. Executive producer is Jennifer Strong. Our theme music is usually by Stephen Todd, but today we're having Sohayla Smith play us out.
Well, there ain't enough love and there ain't enough money to keep in this town much longer, honey. Gonna grab my top and pack, gonna hit the road, Jack. Gonna head towards some love and gonna head towards some cash, but I'll just keep on pushing and I'll keep on pulling till I get what I want or I die trying. Well, there ain't no more caring and there ain't no more sharing. No, it's all for one and I ain't telling. Who's got the beat and who's got the blues and who stole Elvis's blues? Where you choose where you can keep on pushing and keep on pulling, but you ain't gonna get what you want this time. You can keep on trying, yeah. Well, there ain't enough love and there ain't enough money. No, you just can't pour enough sugar on it, honey. No, to make it go down smooth, make it taste real nice. We both know Jerome's the only baker right, but we just keep on pushing and we keep on pulling till we get what we want or we die trying.